this evening. I'm really excited about this. Please enjoy the first of 8 really great presentations tonight. Here's Hannah.
Hi guys, I am very nervous, but we're gonna do it, okay? Okay. For a moment, I would like you guys to imagine living in a home where love is absent, safety is nowhere to be found, and comfort is just a fixation of your imagination. This is what it's like to grow up in a household where the roles of parent and child are reversed. And in this photo, you can see my stepmom, my brother, and my father. And at first glance, you could probably assume that we are a loving and caring family, but truth be told that we are neither of those things. The 2 adults in this photo were struggling drug addicts who really couldn't feed their addiction and raise their children at the same time. My brother and I were raised through neglect, ranging from never having clean clothes, going to bed hungry most nights, being left alone at the house for hours on end, and even becoming homeless at one period of time. But on top of it all, the physical neglect didn't really compare to the emotional abuse my stepmother acted upon me throughout the years. Family and friends knew my story, and they knew my brother and I weren't being taken care of the way we needed to be. So CPS was called multiple times. The social workers would come to my home, and even once came to my school to speak to me about my home life. And I knew how I was living wasn't right, but I was too afraid to speak the truth. My stepmother would constantly threaten that I would never see my brother again due to foster care if I were to tell my social worker things that she would really do. So I would lie, and granted, I should have told the truth, but 9-year-old me was so manipulated, I was relying on the social workers to hear the truth through my lies. But they never did. So the years went by, and the abuse continued. But however, by the grace of God, my brother and I made it out safely due to our grandparents taking control. Unfortunately, though, no thanks to the system who was supposed to protect and serve us. My name is Hannah Pugsley, and I'm going to be talking about a few of the injustices in the CPS system. I introduce you and how we are going to save our children. To transition me into the deep depths of the issue, I'm going to quote a famous psychotherapist by the name of Nathaniel Branden. The greater a child's terror and the earlier it is experienced, the harder it becomes to develop a strong and healthy sense of self. The mission for Child Protective Services, aka CPS, is to identify children at risk of abuse or neglect and to ensure their homes are safe and permanent for their well-being. And in a perfect world, this could possibly be true. But unfortunately, in our sad reality, CPS fails to uphold their mission. So, what exactly is the concern for CPS? The Parental Rights Foundation has shared some issues within the system, including but not limited to, quote, kidnapping children for the money, unnecessarily putting kids in foster care instead of keeping the original family together, and CPS won't save kids, but will surely destroy them. In 2012 alone, 1,640 kids died at the hands of their parents. 8.5% of those families had interactions with CPS. So to put that in closer perspective, 139 kids whose lives could have been spared if CPS did their job better. 139 lives. This transitions me into my next point, that kids are the future. So let's look at some of the statistics. According to the National Children's Alliance, approximately 700,000 kids are abused yearly. This could pack around 10 football stadiums to put in perspective. And over 30% of those kids are likely to continue the abusive cycle onto their own children, while leaving another 80% of those kids being prone to developing at least one mental disorder by the age of 21, including post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, depression, etc. So what exactly is already being done about this? Interventions are currently in place to reform the CPS system. And according to Child Welfare, in 2018, a prevention program was established called the Family First Prevention Services Act. This act requires states to develop, operate, expand, and enhance community-based prevention-focused programs and activities to strengthen and support families in order to prevent child abuse and neglect. Former President Donald Trump actually signed the Bipartisan Act of 2018 to keep the government funded for an additional 6 weeks, hoping to pave the way for a long-term budget deal that could be extended to the end of the fiscal year. Which research actually shows that this act has great potential to dramatically change child welfare systems nationally. The extra funding will be supporting extra training for social workers, foster parents, and new guardians. Moving on to what is also being done to reform the system is the Child and Family Services Review. Child welfare states the CFSR enables the Children's Bureau to A, secure conformity with federal child welfare necessities, B, dictate what is actually occurring to children and families as they are involved with the child welfare services. And C, assist states in strengthening their capacity to help kids and families achieve positive outcomes. So in a nutshell, the CFSR's goal is to encourage and aid states to help improve child welfare systems. Now, what do you do if you have CPS called on you? This is what you should do. You need to educate yourself on your rights and take your accusations seriously as if they were to possibly be true. And ask about your charges, so get all the facts, because after all, this is your case. Find an experienced attorney who's familiar dealing with CPS. Then just try to do the basics from there on out. Try to be polite, even when it's hard, and remind yourself of the Fourth Amendment. Number 4, close your door. I think we all learned it in middle school. So unless a social worker has a court order, no government agent should be entering your home. And also, receipts are important. Attempt to record everything, because if you are being accused of physical abuse towards your child, you need to have their doctor examine them and cling on to that doctor's note that no bruises, marks, bumps, or scrapes were found on your child in an ill manner. Next, you want to get your close friends involved. Your friends, family, everyone who is around you, because honestly, if things go south, these are the ones you can rely on to take care of your child if CPS deems removal. And most importantly, never admit guilt, because even if CPS claims you'll get your child back if you just admit your wrongdoings, it's not really true, and you should call their bluff. When one sees a problem, it's easy to sit and complain about the issue, but what good does that really do? When I heard about CPS needing a reform, I knew I had to do something about it rather than just ranting to my peers and my teachers. So I decided to make my anger and make it educational. I spent my time researching credible sources and chose to take all my new big brain facts about CPS and put it into a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel was inspired by a YouTuber by the name of Bailey Sarian, who brought together her passion for makeup along with her passion of true crime and combined the two together. And I thought to myself, why can't I do the same? But instead with the kids who were failed by the system instead. So, oh my God, I'm panicking. Okay, my goal for the channel is to hopefully teach the ones who are unaware of the child welfare system's wrongdoings and to inspire people to also step up and speak on the matter as well. My channel currently has 41 subscribers and 63 views on a single video. 63 views on a single video. And here's my prop. Okay. Every child deserves to be as healthy, happy, and secure like this little one here. Even if she doesn't seem like it, it's because her mom's right here. But if we all do our part and CPS gets the reform that it needs, then more and more children will end up like my niece Freya, safe and cared for. My name is Hannah Pugsley, and this is how you can contact me. Thank you for listening to my presentation.